Oh, yeah. How are you, folks? Welcome, Monday. Welcome to the big show. This episode of the Nick DiPaolo Show brought to you by Action Heat Clothing. It's getting colder outside, and now Action Heat Clothing wants to make you sure you'll never feel the chill. Action Heat Clothing makes the world's best adjustable battery heated clothing. Yes, heated clothing, folks. Like something came right out of the dryer, only way better. And now you can get it with 20% off your entire order. Just go to actionheat.com/Nick20. Action Heat Clothing provides toasty, warm, and comfort for your whole body, including heated jackets, socks, gloves, hats, even undergarments like heated base layer shirts and long johns. Not only you can stay warm, but since Action Heat is powered by rechargeable batteries, you can also recharge your phone or any other gadget while you're walking around or just chilling or warming. They keep you warm and your phone charged. Can you do that with any of your shirts? Can you plug in your phone? I don't think so. Action Heat is perfect for any friend or family on your holiday gift list. Great for anyone who works outdoors, skiers, snowboarders, or anybody that loves the outdoors but hates the cold. Action Heat is available in men's and women's styles and will make winter activities more enjoyable with a blast of warmth all day long, even in the most frigid winter weather. We've got a special deal for our listeners. To save 20% off your entire order, just go to actionheat.com/Nick20 to check out everything that Action Heat has to offer. And remember to use my code of Nick20 for 20% off your order. That's actionheat.com/Nick20, or use the coupon code Nick20 at checkout to save 20% on Action Heat Clothing. And we thank Action Heat Clothing for sponsoring the show. They sent samples. It's unbelievable. I had these gloves on. It's great stuff. I suggest you try it. Real quick, Nick DiPaolo tour information. The dates, you can get them at nickdip.com. Saturday, December 22nd, the Comedy Works, Saratoga Springs, New York. New Year's Eve, Monday, December 31st, Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown, New York. Saturday, January 12th, Fairfield Theater Company, Fairfield, Connecticut. Saturday, January 19th, Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Sunday, January 27th, Ventura Harbor Comedy Club, Ventura, California. Friday, March 8th, Wood Theater, Glens Falls, New York. Saturday, March 9th, Cohoes Hall, Cohoes, New York. Friday, April 26th, Steel Stacks, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Saturday, August 10th, Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. Saturday, October 19th, Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. NickDip.com for all your ticket information. 833-599-6425. 833-599-6425 is the phone number. How was your weekend? I had an interesting one. I did the Corner Comedy Club in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. A small club, meat and potatoes, bare bones, no frills, intimate club. It was a blast. And I got to be honest with you, did 4 shows. There was so many people after each show saying they came out because of this show. And I can't tell you how encouraging that is. We haven't even really done a marketing campaign yet, officially. So it was fun. It was, I don't know if you've ever been up there. On the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls, they've built, there's casinos and stuff. They built this kind of a second-rate Sunset Boulevard, only it's on a hill. The club was right off the hill. It was the weirdest, funny. It was so cheesy. It was actually charming. Actually, here's some pics of the. That's me walking by a storefront and getting bit by a buzzard. What the fuck? This is the type of shit I saw on the way to the club. I mean, here's an arcade where you could shoot at hillbillies. That person on the right is supposedly already shot dead, and you got the old man. It was creepy. And you're walking past these places, and they're speaking to you on, on a PA system, and there was a giant Ferris wheel and a bowling alley, and this thing followed me back to the hotel. Not my type. But, yeah, what the fuck? There's the... I kept going on every night. I go, what is the theme to this fucking street? The guy was on acid that designed... And there's a giant bird that you usually see on a fucking Fruit Loop box. And you could get, There was 19 pizza places, a Burger King, a in-between each thing, wax museum, and what the fuck else here? Very bizarre. Yeah, the Rainforest Cafe with a creepy frog staring at me the whole time. I kept walking by going, what the fuck is the theme to this thing? But you know what? There was plenty of people out there, so whatever it is, it's working. Go ahead. That creepy thing, and that thing talks to you.
Come face to face with the animals of the circus and solve the cage maze puzzle.
Every time I walk, it's funny. The thing will be talking in mid-sentence. You walk by it, it stops and stares at you. It was fucking giving me the willies. And what else do we have? Oh, I went to a restaurant up there. And Bernie Sanders waited on me. How creepy is that fucking... Bernie Sanders has Parkinson's. And he's got three... Last thing you want is the guy with Parkinson's holding a fucking plate with candles on it. Reminded me of Ali bringing the Olympic torch out. What? You gotta be kidding me! But what a bizarre place. And the club, the guy Teddy that ran it was very cool. And bare bones, man. And no green room. So I the hotel was 5 minutes away, so I could show up 5 minutes before I was going to go on. And in between shows, I go back to the hotel, watch college football, and I got to be honest with you, I enjoyed myself. It was, maybe a little below my standards club-wise, but I like intimate groups, and they were all DiPaolo fans. And I got to thank you guys for coming out. Let's go to Mike. Mike was at the show on Saturday night. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for coming out Saturday.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
What's happening?
Not much, buddy. I just wanted to say, I wanted to thank you for coming up here. I know it was a small room, but man, you killed. You absolutely killed. And I want to remind you.
Yes, sir.
I sat behind a young lady named Sienna. Do you remember her?
Yeah, Sienna and her dad, Steven. They were Italians.
Sienna and her dad.
Yes.
Yeah, I squirmed the whole night, but it was fucking hell, man. You were a killer. Please come up anytime.
I'm gonna. I had such a good time, and like I said, I like Teddy. He was great, Teddy, the guy that ran the place, and he, it's funny. He kept saying, because he wasn't a politically correct guy. He had the same politics as me, but he was younger, but he kept saying to me, "You're 56 years old, and you're the most dangerous comic in the in the fucking."
Oh my gosh, you were fucking amazing.
It was fun. I mean, the people, they got it. They liked the anti-left wing horseshit. And I would do it again. So I look forward to seeing you again, Mike. And thank you for calling.
No, thanks, buddy. Take care.
You got it. Canadians are so polite and so nice, and there's an old joke about how polite Canadians are. How do you get 100 Canadians to get out of a pool? You ask them. You are correct, sir. And it was fun. It was fun. Anyhow, real quick, I didn't want to touch on this because I don't want to draw any more attention to it. But I tweeted something out while I was on the plane. I had a couple drinks in me. Didn't have my reading glasses on me. I was looking at Twitter and noticing I'm losing followers every week because they shadow ban me and do whatever they do to right-wingers. And it infuriated me. Then I clicked on a story on Drudge or one of those other things. And it was 5 or 6 women with their hands in a black power salute. They had crew cuts and whatever the fuck. And I'm a little drunk. And I was more angry at Twitter. So I was just kind of in an array. And then I said, fuck these dumb cunts and their stupid black power salutes. And then some blogger, some chick in Brooklyn, writes an article in Laughspin magazine saying that I called a 12-year-old girl a cunt. Which, first of all, I could barely see it. I forgot my reading glasses. They look like grown women to me. And even if they weren't, I didn't have their bios. And I never would call a 12-year-old girl that. But that was the headline. So if you read that, it's total horseshit. And then she also lied about when I did Comics Come Home in Boston a few years ago, when Wanda Sykes went up and referred to Trump as an ape. And then I went on after it, and I said I could make an Obama joke, but I will not. And she says I called Obama a monkey. So don't fucking believe any of this shit. I actually talked to a lawyer today about libel. So her name's Rosa, her first name, but I don't want to give her any more ink than that. But now I see what it's like, and I'm not even a big me. I can imagine being a Hannity or somebody famous with these fucking headlines that are just total. They just totally twist them, and that shit's out there. So, and what happens now? A lot of this blog shit, and this broad's like a young chick from Brooklyn. She thinks she's a comedian. She's an LGBT fucking advocate, and so what more do you need to know about her? So, but that sort of infuriated me, because it was totally taken out of context. And then she lied about the whole Obama joke or whatever. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out of the way in case you see it. Just really aggravating. So, what the hell else is going on? Over the weekend, we lost H.W. Bush, number 41. That was...
Take your hat off.
He was like an underrated president, I thought. He was a real family guy. I'm sure you've heard it all. But I was laughing because of watching all the pomp and circumstance and his resume. They remember they kept saying Hillary. Nobody's more prepared. Nobody has a better resume to become a president than Hillary. You have a look at this guy's resume, H.W. Youngest fighter pilot in World War II, 18 years old, shot down. We actually have. Let's show the fighter pilot of him being rescued. Look at this. This is in like 1944. 18 years old. Okay, when this shit happens to you, then you don't just talk the talk. You walk the walk. Okay, and that's unbelievable. His two crewmates didn't survive. Look, he's 18 years old there. And started, he went to Yale. And after that, he could have went into he was from money. And he went out to Plano, Texas and started his own oil company with no money. Packed his family in the car with no money whatsoever and started a successful oil company. And a really humble family guy. I remember, this is when I first started following politics in the late 80s. And he served from 89 to 93. Then he ran again. He got beat by Clinton. And he made this promise that he broke.
Read my lips. No new taxes.
That one came back to bite him in the ass. And of course, today, the media, the lib media, couldn't give the guys... Listen to his resume. So he was the youngest fighter pilot, World War II. He's a war hero, gets shot down. Congressman from Texas, UN ambassador, special envoy to China, head of the CIA, vice president under Reagan for 8 years. You think that's a resume? And like I said, a real good family man. Hey, he didn't, as far as foreign policy and shit, he didn't get his business done. Trump is cleaning up his mess, as far as dealing with the Chinese and stuff. So nobody's perfect. But I just watched some of the, as they say, pomp and circumstance at the Capitol. He's lying in state. And I'm not usually impressed, but this was unbelievable. 4,000 military people there. And carrying that casket up the steps. The sun was setting. It's like an incredible night in D.C. tonight. It was really impressive. And, of course, the media. As you know, and this shouldn't surprise us at this point, media missteps in the coverage of former President George H.W. Bush's death from a derogatory Associated Press, which is left-wing, tweet, to the Gray Lady, that's the New York Times, including misleading info in its obituary, have fueled new accusations of liberal bias. They can't leave it alone. It's their fucking, they're just rotten people to the core, especially at the New York Times. Some of the standard obituaries were even panned as slanted and unfair. The AP notably backed off a widely criticized tweet sent shortly after Bush's death was confirmed. The now deleted message said, George H.W. Bush, a patrician, New England, whose presidency soared with the coalition victory over Iraq and Kuwait, but then plummeted in the throes of a weak economy that led voters to turn him out of office after a single term. He has died at 94. They don't mention his World War II service. The tweet was immediately slammed with everyone from Sarah Palin to Parkland shooting survivor Kyle Kashuv condemning the AP. The AP, folks, that's the Associated Press. They're as left-wing as any media source. They eventually deleted the tweet and admitted the gaffe. They said, we've deleted a tweet and revised the story on the death of the president, George H.W. Bush, because the tweet in the opening of the story referenced his 1992 electoral defeat and omitted his World War II service. Yeah, no shit. It took 2 days for someone at the AP to realize this story on Bush was biased garbage, Daily Caller's Derek Hunter added. Far-left website Slate complained that Bush's obituaries didn't include groping allegations made against Bush during the final years of his life when he was confined to a wheelchair. Can you fucking... Really, you're at about, I'd say on the left, the far left, you're about a 6th grade emotional level. You're fucking childish. After the resume I just read you, that's what you fucking want to bring up. Jesus H. Christ. Is the pussy Trump everything? No pun intended. That came out fucking weird. It's got the name Bush in it. The whole fucking thing was 833-599-6425. 4425. But Bush's death gave some media members an excuse to dust off criticism of the infamous Willie Horton ad. I remember that when he was running for president. They ran an ad. It had to do with the death penalty, and it was a commercial showing Willie Horton, this guy, I don't know if he's a murderer, a black murderer, but the commercial showed him. And they use that to same shit they're doing today. Look at how racist Bush is. He's scaring white people by showing a black murderer and a rapist, whatever the guy was. And he didn't even. Bush had nothing to do with it. A third party ran the ad, and that did not help either. And the New York Times took heat for its obituary, which included an infamous photo of Bush at a supermarket. I remember this one, too. He's at a checkout aisle, along with a widely disputed anecdote. The Times wrote his critics saw him as out of touch with ordinary Americans, pointing to what they portrayed as his amazed reaction during a demonstration of a supermarket scanner when he visited a grocers convention while president. The paper also noted that Bush later insisted he had not been surprised by the supermarkets. This whole story was debunked later on. Times reporter Andrew Ratface Rosenthal, who would later oversee the paper's opinion section, famously painted Bush as out of touch with reality in a 1992 front page story about the president being some sort of elitist. What a fucking, just a piece of...
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Rosenthal wrote that Bush emerged from 11 years in Washington's choices executive mansions to confront the modern supermarket. Made sure to mention that some supermarkets had the technology as early as 76. However, the story is condemned by media watchdogs on both sides, who noticed the Times didn't actually have a reporter present at the supermarket convention, and the White House even said the entire thing was manufactured by the media. After witnesses chalked up Bush's expression to simply being polite, Fox News' Howard Kurtz called it the story that won't check out in the Washington Post back in 1992, noting that the poll reporter didn't even mention the incident in his own story. So, and even if he was surprised at it, or it was the first time he was seeing a scanner, don't you really think he was fucking doing the shopping? I mean, isn't that the logic? You really think the presidents go grocery shopping? Hey, we're out of Fruit Loops, Barbara. Let's go to the fucking... Are you fucking dog-styling me? The Times was condemned for including the supermarket tidbit in the Bush obituary, and Newsbusters even published a breakdown headline, Times George H.W. Bush obituary can't afford fake news about supermarket scanner. It was a phony anecdote forwarded by reporter Andrew Rosenthal to paint the first Bush as an out-of-touch patrician. Yeah. Let's go to Pat in Saratoga Springs, H.W. Bush and his double life. Pat, go ahead. He had a double life, did he?
Yeah, Nick. So a couple of years ago, I read this book, and it was called Family of Secrets And
Yeah.
when I heard the interview from the author, Russ Baker, I was kind of skeptical. But as I read it, it's very well documented and with government documents that had been disclosed by the FBI. On November 22nd, 1963, about an hour after Kennedy was shot, a George H.W. Bush from Tyler, Texas, called in a report saying a Jack Parrott had spewed hateful rhetoric.
Hey, what?
The call was to the Houston FBI office.
Pat, we can't hear
The
you.
call was to the
Are you outside or something?
I was, yeah, but
Yeah.
the call was to the Houston FBI office, and they went in to Jack Parrott's house, who was in Houston. He was there, and the guy that drove him down was Bush's chief of staff, as Bush was the head of the Republican Party in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Years later, in '85, he told the Japanese television network he could not remember where he was the day of that assassination. And he led a little bit of a shady life. He was kind of involved in Watergate. And the Zapata offshore oil always kind of was showing up where there were these coups.
And you believe
I posted.
You believe all this?
Hunter. Yeah, I mean, he is like Alan Dulles is the granddaddy of the deep state, and I think Bush was his Luca Brasi, to be honest with you. And the stuff W got away with was just absurd.
Yeah,
but I posted an article from it.
You're implicating him in the Kennedy assassination. You don't think we would have had more proof?
Absolutely. He doesn't know where he says he doesn't know where he was, and then that memo comes out.
Yeah. So that's about
shady.
what?
The Bushes.
Okay. Look, I know he's not perfect. He was the head of the CIA, so I know that. But you got to come up with more than one guy's book. The book you read, I don't know what his politics are, but I mean, I think we would have heard more details. How long's he been dead? I think there'll be more details on what George H.W. Bush had to do with it. I mean,
well, it's disclosed in an FBI memo, though. I mean, it's there on government websites.
So it's got to be true.
George H.W. Well, I think he was culpable. He led a really, even with Watergate, his involvement is strange, and they were tight with the Saudis.
Yeah, like every president.
He knew that there was a.
Yes, every
president.
Yes, he's tight with the Saudis, but that doesn't take away from his record, as the youngest fighter pilot. And I'm just saying, out of all the bullshitters that talk about service to the country, he actually had some merit behind his claims. That's all I'm saying. Look, he was the head of.
JFK.
Of course, he has a dirt in his
JFK
hands.
did too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he was tight with the Houston oil ring, and they didn't like Kennedy. And I'm telling you, I was skeptical myself before I read the book and head the interview.
Okay, well, read 5 more books, and it might change your mind. I mean, there's 1,000 books out there. But yeah, no, I'm not saying he was the head of the CIA. He's got to have dirt on his hands. So, good call, Pat. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thanks, Nick.
My whole reason for bringing this up is the left-wing media can't give the guy a break on the day he fucking dies. That's my only point. Anyhow. G in Seattle, do I agree? Nancy Pelosi looks like someone coming out of the Walking Dead. Yes, I do. Next question. Yes, G, she does. She's got that Wayne Newton plastic look, but I'm telling you, she was a looker when she was young. All right, take it easy. Nice talking to you. The fuck was that about? Anyhow, show's streaming live on Facebook and.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
YouTube.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, sure.
I want all of you to enjoy your cake. So, enjoy.
Excuse me. Conservative author Jerome Corsi on Monday filed a criminal ethics complaint against special counsel Bob Mueller's team, accusing investigators of trying to bully him into giving false testimony against Trump. Oh, is that right?
Are you saying he knows nothing about these matters?
To my knowledge, nothing.
I'm gonna find out what the hell happened here.
The complaint, which Corsi had threatened for days, is the latest escalation between Mueller's team and its investigation targets. The 78-page document asserting the existence of a slow-motion coup against the president was filed to a range of top law enforcement officials, including Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker. He's the one who took over for the little Alabama midget, Sessions. Department of Justice Inspector General Michael Horowitz, D.C.'s U.S. Attorney Jesse Liu, and the Bar Disciplinary Council. Dr. Corsi has been criminally threatened and coerced to tell a lie and call it the truth, the complaint states. Corsi, we talked about him last week, is connected with political operative our buddy Roger Stone, has claimed for the past week that he was being improperly pressured by Mueller's team to strike a plea deal, which he now says he won't sign. According to Corsi's complaint, they wanted him to demonstrate that he acted as a liaison between Stone and WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange on one side and the Trump campaign on the other regarding the release of hacked emails from the DNC. The complaint states that Mueller's office is now knowingly and deceitfully threatening to charge Dr. Corsi with an alleged false statement unless he gives them false testimony against Trump and others. And that's what they do. We talked about this the other day. They asked him about email that he forwarded 2 years ago. He couldn't remember it. They let him go back and check all his... and by the way, of course, he handed over everything willingly. And they let him go back and check this 2-year-old email in which he talked to Roger Stone and vice versa. And he amended it and whatever. But he's not giving them what they want to hear. And they're going to put the squeeze on him. That's why, it would be very dangerous for Trump to talk to fucking Mueller. That's what they do. You know? You could be telling the truth, but if it's not the truth that you spoke or somebody else there has a different story, they will charge you, you know. So it's a fucking hairy situation. This guy's 72 years old. And by the way, my buddy Credico has to go see Mueller a couple more times. So, and we're going to get him because he texts me. Matter of fact, Cuomo wanted him on CNN. I don't know if that was today or sometime this week. So that'll be interesting. I like that somebody's pushing back against fucking Thug Mueller. The purported threat of a false statement charge, according to the complaint, pertains to a July 2016 email from Stone asking Corsi, to get to Assange and get the pending emails. Corsi's complaint said he was unable to initially give accurate testimony at that point until he could reload emails on his laptop. The complaint says he later amended his answer. Corsi said Mueller's team was happy with his answers until he couldn't give them what they wanted. As part of the complaint, Corsi's legal team included a draft court filing from Mueller's team to be used for Corsi to plead guilty to making false statements. That document includes an August 2nd, 2016 email between Corsi and Stone where Corsi references Assange and the forthcoming release of hacked emails. This is his words in the email. Word is friend and embassy plans 2 more dumps. Maybe he was talking about shits. Let's be honest. That's what I'd say. I'd make a great lawyer. He was saying dumps. He meant bowel movements. As you know, Assange did not have a healthy diet. And the living on Fritos and heavy cream. Corsi wrote to Stone about 10 weeks before Hillary Clinton campaign chairman Podesta's emails were released. In the complaint on Monday, Corsi's lawyers denied that Corsi had inside knowledge and was colluding with Assange. Instead, they make the argument Corsi, and I saw him say it on TV, logically concluded more emails were released. Now, you can believe that or you cannot believe that, but Corsi told host Tucker Carlson last week he has no contact with Julian Assange whatsoever, and that should be easy to figure out whether he did or not. Corsi's represented in his complaint by Larry Klayman, a conservative lawyer who founded Judicial Watch. Oh, boy, have they caused problems for the lefties, and is known for filing lawsuits against former President Bill Clinton. In the complaint, Klayman argues that the activities of Corsi as an investigative journalist, that's in quotes, are protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution, and I think he's right.
You are correct, sir.
Anyways, that'll be interesting. So somebody's filing a lawsuit against the special counsel. Maybe somebody else will fucking take note of that. There's got to be some pushback. There's never any pushback from the dummies. Republicans, I don't know if you're shitty lawyers or what. And that's the other thing on a macro level. I always notice the righties we always seem to be 2 steps behind the lefties in their lawsuits and shit. Probably because, everybody's in on it. The fucking media is complicit. But we're always chasing them going, hey, we just realized you guys been fucking us in the ass for like the last 10 years as far as lying about this and that. They're always behind. You don't see Dems going, hey, you guys. So maybe they are smarter, but I'd say fucking the righties are more honest. You make the call. I see 3 calls up that aren't relevant to anything I'm talking about. Jack from Massachusetts. Time article reminds, not the article, he's talking about the obituary, reminds him of a Vice article about Trump. What are you talking about there, Jack? Welcome to the show, fella.
What's going on, Nick?
Not too much.
Do the regular thing. Big fan of the show. Big fan, all that good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
So no, that article though that you're talking about, the Bush thing, just paints anyone on the right or like all those articles as like, pretty bad. Was going through my Snapchat news, reading through all that stuff, and there was one on Vice, 14 reasons he's bad or whatever, and I decided to read through it.
What,
and
Trump?
one of the
14
points
reasons
on there was he doesn't.
14 reasons Trump is bad, you mean? Right?
Yeah. Trump is bad, and so I was like, all right, I'll read it and see like how bullshit these are. And one of them, said that Trump doesn't like dogs. And their reasoning on that was because he compared CNN reporters to dogs, and because he doesn't like CNN reporters, therefore, he doesn't like household pets. So he's like some kind of sicko. And you're reading it and like, because a bunch of those leftists just are scrolling through that going, oh yeah, fuck this guy, reading all the bullshit, not actually getting in depth like.
Well, I'll tell you, President.
Crazy, though. I'll tell you, they eat it up.
I'll tell you, a president who did love dogs, Bill Clinton. Obviously, look at his fucking wife. And
thick ankle fucking dog face.
Yeah, the thick ankle dog face. But I don't know. Do you get all your news from Snapchat, Jack? I don't know. I don't even know what
No. I just go through them honestly.
The headlines.
I like to read that Vice one. No, I like to read that Vice one more as like a comedy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is what they're going for today? Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But
all right, Jack. Good hearing from you, buddy. Go Bruins. Go Bruins. How the Patriots doing? I remember hearing that they were once again they were finished after they get beat by the Detroit Lions in week 2 or 3. And how are they doing? Oh, they're 9-3, and they're actually vying for the fucking first round bye. And they have what's that? They have the tiebreaker over Texas, of the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. What? Anyhow, place is good, make my dick hot. Well, it's a good segue into BlueChew. This portion of the DiPaolo Show brought to you by BlueChew.com. Gentlemen, remember the days when you were always ready to go, back when you could finish with a lady and then be ready to perform again? I don't. And when you performed, it was never at 3/4 mast. No, it was always full mass. But like all things, age catches up and can impact your performance. But thanks to our new sponsor, BlueChew.com, you can increase your performance and get some extra firepower in the sack for free with promo code NICK. BlueChew.com, that's blue like the color blue, and chew, because BlueChew.com has created the first chewable supplement packed with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. With BlueChew, you'll be at 100% whenever you need to be. And not only that, but it can shorten your recovery period. If you want to go again in the same night, you go again in the same night. She'll think you're Hercules. I wear a necklace made of BlueChew pills around my neck. They look like polka beads. BlueChew ships straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor's visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, I've been told, that your dick gets harder faster. What's not to love? I ask my puppy. They're made in the USA, and since BlueChew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. And here's the deal, folks. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code Nick. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code Nick, N-I-C-K, to try it for free. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the Nick DiPaolo show. God bless you, BlueChew. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Let's go to Kev in Chicago. I'm sure he's a Bush lover. Kev, what's going on?
What's up, Nick?
What's up?
Thanks for taking my call. What I want to talk about today is Bush, man. He was just another neocon, another typical establishment. He was with the CIA.
Yeah.
And so he's
yeah.
Man, good riddance with him. I mean, I don't ever like to speak ill on the dead because I'm a Christian.
Yeah, I can tell. You're very sensitive.
That's just not what I'm about. But I also wanted to talk about was
Hold on, let me slow you down.
Did you hear about
Hold on, let me slow you down. Well, what do you get against the CIA, Kev?
They've been in so many bad. They're like freaking overthrowing governments in the Middle East. That's what they're about. Their whole deal is trying to install dictators and stuff in different countries and foreign intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
They're just
all those
bad news all around.
Oh yes, they're bad as those countries that they're trying to spread democracy to. Is that what you say?
They're just they got an allegiance to Israel. They're an Israeli plan for
and what's
Mossad,
and what's
like
the matter?
But that's not what I want to talk about.
Well, you already talked. You used your minute. What's the matter with Israel? You don't like Israel for what reason?
They're spying on us. Look up No More News. They got Israeli agents spying on us.
No more news.
And so they could.
Yes, this.
Okay, that's not my point. Let me talk about this real quick. Real quick.
No, hold on. I want to
Have
stop you with your bullshit.
Hill?
I'm going to hang up on you if you don't shut up. Listen. Yes, they spy on us. We spy on them. Russia spies on Israel. Israel spies on China. We spy on Israel. China spies on Russia. So stop fucking pointing to the CIA. Every government, every fucking powerful country has a form of the CIA. So quit being so fucking anti-American. They all have dirty fucking spies. So go ahead. Now go ahead, Kev.
Oh, all right. My point is Mark Lamont Hill. Did you see he got fired from CNN
for
criticizing Israel?
Yes.
You know how much anti-white stuff hold on a sec. You know how much anti-white stuff he said? Just racism towards white people.
Yes.
I can list example after example of him saying stuff. But as soon as he goes against Israel, as soon as he speaks out against the tribe of Jews, Israel, their home country,
yes,
he gets fired.
Yeah.
His bosses are all Jewish, and he knows better.
Oh my God, you're an
against white people all day.
Kevin, you're
an go against Israel, go against
You're
Jews. They can
an anti-Semite, Kevin. You don't like Jewish people. That's horrible.
Oh, that word doesn't work anymore. That word don't work anymore, man. Everyone's waking up to the Jewish power.
Oh, all right, Kevin. Everybody but you, my friend. They're our best ally in the Middle East, okay? I don't care how fucking bad they are. Compare them to these third world shitholes over there. Oh, my God. I love the lefties that fucking hate Israel. Ugh. As opposed to what? The people that are trying to kill them? I would like to see what would happen if we broke it off with Israel. Can't we do an experiment just for a fucking year to see, most of those countries want to kill Israel because they're the best friends of Satan. That would be the United States. But I've had these discussions ad nauseum at the Comedy Cellar table with a guy named Menachem Dworman, who's passed away, who owned the Comedy Cellar, who taught this stuff in Israel. And we used to sit down. Lawyers would come in, left-wing lawyers who thought they knew their shit, and would sit him down with Manny and watch Manny get him into a headlock verbally in about 5 minutes. But hey, to each his own. Hey, let's go to Rich. He had an encounter with George H.W. Bush. Rich is calling from St. Louis. Don't tell me he grabbed your ass at the airport, Rich.
No. In fact, I'll just take it from the top. This
So you got a great show. I just ran into your show here. I used to catch you on Louder and Crowder, but I'll go on with your story. Minimize time here.
Yeah.
I'll take you back to 1992, the election.
Yes.
And I worked at. I'll just try to say it. I don't work there no more. They don't exist, but it was called McDonnell Douglas Aircraft.
Yes.
And I worked there, and there was this proposal where the Saudi Arabians wanted to buy 72 F-15 fighters from us.
Uh-huh.
And that was used as a campaign thing. And George Bush flew into St. Louis, and I was told, I kind of had run of the place. I was involved with the machine shop, and I was told, hey, George Bush is over on the tarmac. You want to go over and see him? Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I walked over there. There's a lot of white-collar workers, engineers standing in a line. And I got at the end of the line. I'm holding a big gulp, and I've got a T-shirt on. Joe, what?
No, I was laughing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, so I've got a T-shirt on. I'm Joe Work Boots, man, union guy. And I'm standing there with my big gulp, waiting for my turn to shake hands with George Bush. He's about 6'4". He was a tall guy. I don't know how he fit in a fucking airplane. I'm sorry, he fit in an airplane because he was kind of tall,
Yeah.
But he come up to me, and he absolutely recoiled, pulled his hand back, looked at me, stepped back. And then Secret Service looked at me and like, what's in the cup? And I go, it's a soda. And by then, I'm putting it on the ground, because they've been throwing broccoli at Bush for the last 4 years.
Right.
So they were thinking I was going to whip something at him. But he would not shake my hand.
Really?
Not at all. I mean, he even stepped away about 4 more steps, turned around and deliberately looked right back at me. And it was like I cut a fart or something.
Yeah,
and,
but what if you did have like a cup of rice in or something? I mean, they do have to be careful, don't they?
That was a good job. I'm not going to throw crap on the president.
He don't know that. Just like his son didn't know.
Well, yeah,
his son didn't know he was
doesn't.
going to get a shoe thrown at his fucking head.
No, I mean, but that was the size of that. I mean, he just, I basically was the only T-shirt and Joe Work Boots guy in the line, and I guess that just ticked him off. Just ticked him off, or just not in his social stratification by my dress. Get the hint,
Okay, so we'll take him out of Arlington. We'll put him in a cemetery in fucking Oregon.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
There's a rumor that says he was killed like 2 weeks ago, and they waited to roll him out into the box just to screw up this big week of hearings and proceedings.
George H.W. Bush was killed 2 weeks ago?
He's been dead for a few weeks, and they just waited to wheel him out to mess up the big
hold
week
on.
of hearings and congressional hearings.
All right, hold on, Rich. But first, you said he was killed. You mean he died 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, whatever. He was going to die. He was going to die anyway.
All right, Rich. Call again, buddy. Thank you. Good call.
Thanks, bye.
All right. Bush was killed a couple of weeks ago by the ghost of Barbara. Apparently, he's putting some ice cubes. Never mind. That was dirty. I don't want to sully his reputation. But I'm not sitting here, I love how people think, oh, he was a bad guy. The CIA, the CIA protects you, dumbasses, okay? Every fucking government has one or a form of the CIA. Sorry for being the best at it. And you always hear that when he was the president. That makes him a scumbag. He was the head of the CIA. I'm sure he had people whacked. That's not my fucking point. But I say he earned it, at least more than most people, because he was shot down in an ocean defending us. That's how I just fucking think. You are correct, sir. How about Paris over there, huh? France. Holy moly, they're pissed off about high taxes and gas charges, and Macron has got his balls in a sling, ladies and gentlemen. Balls in a sling. Stunned Parisians clean up posh Central District after worst riot since 1968. And they don't even have that many black people over there. How bad a riot could it have been, honestly? I mean, that is some racist shit. I can't believe that you just... Can't have a riot without a whole bunch of black folk. Nick, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying. That's how it is in this country. I'm just saying, I can't picture Parisians getting so pissed off that what are they doing? Fucking hitting each other with baguettes and fucking hot brie and Hot brie. That'll be the name of my next album. Sounds gross. I woke up with some hot brie on my chest. I don't know what happened. Several thousand riot police were overwhelmed on Saturday. Why? Because it was France. Big fucking girls. As they fought running battles with protesters in the shadows of some of Paris's fabled landmarks and throughout its fanciest shopping districts. More than 400 people were arrested and more than 100 injured, shocking Parisians and tourists alike. Here's some footage.
Protested over fuel prices and the cost of living. The French capital suffered the worst unrest for...
And the cost of living. I love the way the Brits do their news. A man was hit in the ass with a baguette and survived. It's the same anarchist shitheads. It's the yellow vests fucking... I want to start a real right-wing group. We're going to wear those Century 21 real estate jackets, those nice yellow... You know, the baby diarrhea yellow jackets. At the base of the 19th century Arc de Triomphe, police kept the public back as cleanup crews set about erasing graffiti. They have Hispanics over there? Nick, why do you equate graffiti with Hispanic? I don't know. It looks like Spanish writing to me a lot of time. Every time you say graffiti on a bridge, it doesn't say John or Mary. Much of it the graffiti was targeting President Emmanuel Macron and some exuding anarchist sentiments such as overthrow the bourgeoisie. These guys, their politics is stuck in 1940. It's fucking, let's be honest, they're communists over there. Authorities were caught off guard by the escalation in violence after 2 weeks of nationwide unrest against fuel taxes. The petroleum is too high. And high living costs, known as the Yellow Vest movement, after the fluorescent jackets worn by protesters. The government said it would consider a state of emergency in the face of unrest across the country. The violence in Paris was the worst in the elegant center of the capital since the May 1968 student uprising that brought France to its knees. Macron has a problem on his hands. Everyone's fed up. He's got to listen more, said Amaya Fuster, eyeing graffiti daubed on Printemps department store windows that read, "There's enough money in the coffers of businessmen. Share the riches." How about this? How about fuck you? Go out and earn your own keep. How about that? There's enough money in the coffers. These jerk-offs couldn't run a lemonade stand, but they can do math. Everybody should get free everything. Obama used to look to Western Europe as the socialist model, and how's it working out? There's plenty of money in the coffers. Go earn your fucking own. Again, I'm against high taxes too, but I don't like your overall plan, where it's headed. Authorities said violent groups from the far right and far left. Well, that means Macron must be doing something right. He's got them both after him, as well as thugs from the suburbs. Oh, those thugs from the suburbs. I wonder who lives in the suburbs of Paris that are thugs. Can we talk about them, their ethnicity, their religion? I'm just curious. I really am. Had infiltrated the Yellow Vest movement. Yellow Vests. Even the vest color they choose is faggy to do a riot. Would you like black? No, I want some pastels and shit. Who's up for yellow? Nothing will scare the shit out of me. We'll look like a swarm of bees. You look like you'd be directing traffic at a construction site, you cum guzzlers. There were signs that some of the hardcore troublemakers were part of the anarchist and anti-capitalist movement. No, you don't say. Banks, insurance companies, upmarket private homes, and cafes and glitzy boutiques were among the properties smashed up and looted. These are people who can't make it on their own in the world, folks, at least with a free market system. So they get really angry and they want to tear it all down. You can tell, you can drop the first call, okay? Does that look like anything I was talking about? What?
I was going to say he's on the phone now, so he can't hear you.
That's fine, but I'm not interested. Bye-bye. Next. Let's go to Bobby Gary in Idaho. Bobby, you saw some riot stuff? Somebody get shot in the face, did you say?
Yeah, I just got done watching the video that some of the protesters put out, that one of the the yellow vests. The authorities shot him, and it was very graphic. I was just compelled to call in because I'm French, like Elizabeth Warren is Native American.
I'm French Canadian. I don't know if that makes me French. And what did all the explain to me, Bobby, Montreal, why it's all French? At some point, did a bunch of whores from France come to the United States? This is what I was told. Seriously, Montreal was like we're a bunch of. Go ahead.
It's a horror colony.
But
I've never heard that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
People in Montreal told me that. Because guys always say how beautiful the women are in Montreal, and somebody who was from there explained to me that like there was a big prostitution thing way back in the day. All the prostitutes moved to the Montreal area, and then they spawned beautiful children to this day. And
well, they got tired of the STD tax, so they moved over to Canada. Is that what happened?
That might be it. So where did Bobby? Where'd you see this footage?
It's been floating around. The Owen Benjamin's Bears got the link. It's on Live Leaks and a bunch of different places from right within their riot, and it's very graphic. Like his whole face is sliced open. And I saw the video of the giant guillotine they put up, and it looks like it's getting pretty ugly. Some of what they're going for, I kind of agree with. Like the people that are like, hey, we want to save our heritage and go back to some, more right-leaning values.
Are you calling me from an animal
hospital? Over there.
Are you calling me from an animal hospital?
No, I have a kennel, so kind of.
I thought you were stepping on your dog's neck.
Nope.
Well, we're gonna look up. We're gonna try to find that footage. And thank you for making us aware of that, Bobby.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll link it. I'll send it over in an email or something.
All right. Thanks, honey.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
All right.
Bye.
My thing won't scroll, fellas. I don't know them. Anyhow. Maybe Kevin says France video that keeps getting deleted. People going towards the Bastille building. Kev, what footage is that?
Yeah, hey Nick. I saw that. I think it was on. I think it was Reddit, and some of it on 4chan too. They keep deleting it from both YouTube too, obviously. But apparently they're out there chanting, and they didn't want people to hear that. But they're standing outside the building, and it cuts out after like 10 seconds. But what you hear is you just hear 4-4, 4-4-4-4, and they keep deleting it.
You got me, Kevin. You got me. What did he hang up? 4-4, 4-4-4. How many people were heading towards the Bastille building? 444 people were shot. Anyhow, Kid Rock in some hot water over the weekend with the fucking lovely and beautiful and talented Joy Behar. Mama. Before I get off there, let's go to Matt in Virginia about the French riots. Matt, what's going on over there?
Hey, Nick. Hey, Nick. How you doing? Thank you for taking my call.
You got it, brother. I mean, what is it? What does a gallon of petrol cost over there? I mean, people are fucking furious.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the euro is going to get sucked anyway. But there are a few different issues, not just this gas stuff. Because one, the so-called economic migrants,
Yes.
Two, the high gases, the taxes, like you said.
Yeah.
Three, I think a lot of people are still mad about Marine Le Pen losing, like the conservative one.
What?
And finally, four.
Those are actually good points up to that point.
That pretty much wraps it up.
You got it, brother. Did I mention that guy? What's his name? Mike David, Chicago?
Yeah, Mike Davis.
Not Davis, stupid. David, wasn't it?
That's how unmemorable he is.
That's how memorable he is. I don't remember his name.
Well, I guess he's gay. I said the word faggot. I didn't even know he's gay. It's just I have this unbelievable intuition. Good points, though, but it's but it's not the righties out there who are pissed. The Marine Le Pen, it's the fucking anarchists. I mean, by the statement, share what's in the coffers is plenty of money. You can tell what their fucking goal is. It's a form of government that's never worked anywhere on the planet. But good luck to you. I want to see this footage of somebody getting shot in the face. It's hard to picture a French guy using violence other than throwing hot butter sauce at a waiter who was fucking slow to the table. Kid Rock watches Nashville Christmas parade from his honky tonk.
You know what I want for Christmas this year? What? A big fat cock! Oh! In my ass!
I know what you get. You're a damn predator. All right.
Yeah, Kid Rock watches Nashville Christmas parade from his honky-tonk. But festivities aside, Kid Rock was on a lot of people's minds. Friday evening, parade organizers decided to boot him from being the Grand Marshal at the Nashville holiday party parade because of him calling Joy Behar the B word on Fox and Friends. It's getting edgy out there. And here's a grown man. He knows what he should say on national television, what he shouldn't say on national television, said James Shaw Jr. James Shaw Jr., I remember this guy. He's a legitimate hero, actually. Black dude. Replaced Kid Rock as Grand Marshal, saying it's a huge honor. Do you remember it was a shootout at a fucking Waffle House or something, and he saved a bunch of people, actually. I believe it's the same guy. Shaw replaced Kid Rock as Grand Marshal, saying it's a huge honor. Kid Rock reportedly watched a parade from his honky-tonk on Broadway, and he wants the parade to be about the kids. Organizers wanted to honor him for stopping a mass shooting, not Kid Rock. That would be Shaw Jr. Stopping a mass shooting at a Waffle House in Antioch earlier this year. But here's the thing. So many people in Nashville love Kid Rock. I think the spirit of the parade was diminished today because of this, said Crystal Lynn, who was in bare feet with 11 babies in a car. No. Who came from Hurricane Mills to support him. David Briley needs to be out of office. Kid Rock needs to be mayor. That's what Crystal Lynn thinks. On Friday, David Briley, the mayor, said he wouldn't come to the parade if Kid Rock were the Grand Marshal, but now he says that's old news. You're old news with your PC faggoty horseshit, Mayor David Briley. Another spineless fella. Tootsie's, I guess is a famous establishment, also had a very different message on Saturday. On Friday, owners were threatening to sue the city and parade organizers if Kid Rock were replaced and wanted their $250,000 back that they donated to the parade if Rock was replaced. So not everybody be happy about this up in here. So, appearing on Fox and Friends Friday morning, Kid Rock called Joy Behar a bitch, and here's the video.
God forbid you say something a little bit wrong, you're racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, this, that, and the other. People need to calm down, get a little less politically correct, and I would say, love everybody except, I'd say, screw that Joy Behar bitch. Everybody.
Look at Ducey. Yes, he can, and he did, Mr. Ducey. That's Fox and Friends. So that's an early morning show, and Kid Rock has a cup in his hand. That's what happens. You're like politicians, entertainers. You're surrounded by your fans, and you'll say shit that's going to get you in some hot water. In a perfect world, nobody would have blinked at that because we know Joy Behar is a bitch. I know her personally. I actually got along with her till she got her own show and became this left-wing lunatic who just spews the most ignorant horseshit day after day next to that fucking dreadlock-wearing beanbag chair, Whoopi. It just unbelievable. But Joy, I wish we had the clip of me on her show on CNN when I fucking made her look silly. Anyhow. For her part, Behar invited Kid Rock to come on The View and discuss his opinion. The bitch and these bitches, Joy said, would be happy to have you on the show. And Kid Rock replied back,
Make me a sandwich. Make me a fucking sandwich.
Fucking bitch. McCain said, this is, McCain's daughter. Who's on The View also. Megan, or whatever her name is. Philip. McCain said she felt Rock's remarks were off-tone since he was on the program to make the point that Americans needed to work to get along in polarized times. I wish he would practice what he preaches. Come on. I love McCain's. I try to like her, but she's, I don't know, she's just like her dad. She's all over the map. But the point is, more Americans agree with Kid Rock, okay? The fucking garbage that the View spews every fucking day, PC, anti-Trump, anti-Republican, PC horseshit. He's just rebutting that. And again, if we didn't live in a hypersensitive country that's run by the feminist movement at the core of everything, you could say that we could all have a good laugh. And I bet you he does go on the show. Him and, make a note, him and Sean Penn did this thing. Did we ever show that video that they made together? Like they're in a bar, like they're strangers, and they start getting in each other's face? Write it down. It's fucking great. They did it together because they're obviously polar opposites politically, but it was so well done. And was done in the spirit of bipartisanship. Oh, these pillows aren't working out. Super Chat, go ahead.
All right, so I got 3. One of them is from Mike Rossi. He was going back to the Bush. First McCain, now Bush. Christmas came early this year. Let's top it off with George Soros for the trifecta.
Well, that doesn't make sense to me politically. McCain was a war hero. Bush was a war hero. So why does Christmas come early? Do you dislike those guys?
I guess he does.
I don't think he does. If he's a fan of this show, why would he dislike war heroes? McCain was all over the map, I agree, politically. But Mike, I'm with you as far as Soros, 1,000%.
All right, and then I got 2 from Patrick Dorr. He says, CIA and Joint Chiefs protect us? ? Check out Operation Northwoods. Conservatives get the state is force and love it. Something about libertarians have to fight before it's too late.
I love this fucking hatred of the CIA. These guys read a book or a story where the CIA does something, creepy. I'm not talking about the whole Trump thing right now. Yes, they're underhanded and shit. But you don't hear about all the shit that they uncover. You never hear about. Guys, so don't fucking read one book and go, they are the filthiest outfit. They do a lot of shit that you and I don't hear about that does protect you, you numbnuts. Anyhow, what was his other remark? Pat?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it? Yes, they're underhanded and sneaky. That's what they're clandestine group.
They get dirty so we can stay clean.
Wow, that sounded like an ad for Tide. Jason, beautiful. You hear that? They get dirty so we can stay clean. Don't talk to me like I'm a Pollyanna here. I know they have all kinds of sneaky shit going on. The current day CIA, with maybe some of Obama's leftovers, they're filthy whores who should be outed, yes. That I agree with. Frank in Nashville is a Kid Rock supporter. Frank, what do you think of Joy Behar? I find her quite attractive from the forehead up.
Oh, she's definitely attractive, like a 4, maybe 4.
Make me a sandwich. Make me a fucking sandwich.
What happened? Was that the guy I was talking to?
Yeah, he hung up.
All right. Let's go to Jay in Boston. He's got a comment about Kid Rock. Go ahead, Jay.
4. 4.
Yes.
4.
Well. Ryan in L.A., says they keep getting the word criminal mixed up with hero. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, you keep calling these guys war heroes. I think you're getting the word hero mixed up with criminal.
Yeah, that's what you would think because you live in Los Angeles and you believe everything that they've been sticking down your throat for the last 50 years. But how was getting shot down in a fighter plane in World War II, defending this country? How are you not a hero?
Well, I guess if you paint it like that, everybody's a hero, right? You know?
No, not everybody's there. Bill Clinton was a fucking coward who fucking during Vietnam ran to Oxford in England. So no, not everybody's a hero. That's exactly my point. Not everybody is a hero. But John McCain spent 5 years in a Vietnamese prison camp. Those guys are fucking heroes. Or do you believe
they got shot out of a?
Oh, what do you? I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to figure you out if you're a lefty or you're like Trump who says they're not heroes because they get shot down. Is that your angle? I'm trying.
No, I'm just.
Oh. So what is
I'm just coming from no angle at all here. I'm just trying to figure out how somebody's a hero, I guess.
Well, I just explained it to you. How old are you, Ryan?
So somebody gets shot out of the sky, they're a hero. Or somebody gets captured, they're a hero then.
No. Oh, my God. You wonder why this country's in the fucking state it's in. Oh, my fucking word. No, there are actually guys like Ted Williams who didn't get shot down who are fucking heroes. So if Ted Williams isn't a hero and fucking people who get shot down, they're both doing one thing. Well, they weren't out there skywriting. Fucking, they were fucking defending the United States. Now,
well, for all we know.
Oh my God, Ryan, you're fucking.
Were you in there? Were you his co-pilot? Were you his goose?
Is that how it has to work? I had to be there. You are fucking everything that's wrong with Los Angeles, but I love you anyways, Ryan. I love you, man. You're as ignorant as the day is fucking long. I can tell you're a young guy by your voice, and there you are a product of the fucking United States educational system, and you're just as ignorant as the day is long, and so there's no such thing as a war hero, or you're so anti-American. What you're saying is the fact that we were involved in any wars makes, fucking Jesus. The never-ending bowl of ignorance. It's like the Olive Garden for fucking retarded people. Anyways, back to some important shit. Kid Rock. Then Sarah Palin scoffed at Joy Behar's crocodile tears and told her to suck it up, Cupcake. Palin was incredulous at Behar's mock outrage over being called a bitch, especially considering all the names she's called others. Well, exactly right, Sarah. Exactly right, dear Sarah. Palin went on saying, "You sat idly by, downright giddy, as guests on your show called my daughter a hooker. You've said worse about me and other women, but I've got other things to do other than spend precious time Googling it all." How about her? Sarah landing a fucking solid right hand.
You fucking hypocrite.
Joyless B, suck it up, Cupcake, Palin jabbed before adding a link to a report citing the time her daughter was called a hooker on The View. Kid Rock later apologized for using the curse word, but did not apologize for the sentiment he was trying to relay to viewers. Behar has been an outspoken critic of Trump, and when myself, Sarah Palin, and Ted Nugent visited the White House last year, Behar called it the saddest day in the history of the White House since the British burned it to the ground in 1814, and she was there for that. She reported on that, Joy. She was already 31 years old at that point, that wrinkled skank fest of a fucking dummy. Today I said, screw that Joy Behar bitch. Mess with the bull, you get the horns. End of story. I apologize for cursing on live TV. I will not. By the way, bitch is considered a curse on live TV. I will not, for my sentiment, nor do I expect an apology from her or anyone else who has choice words for me or doesn't like me. God bless. God bless America.
You are correct, sir.
Wake up, white people.
I'm awake. Joy, all joy. Ding-da-da-ding-ding. I got Adam Borsetti, Franklin, Massachusetts. He says you should always support the troops. regardless of where they are put. I'm afraid to answer this. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, I don't know which side is the latency. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's you going first, but I just want to say that, the troops don't always get to choose where they're put.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if like in Vietnam, imagine how many poor bastards had to go there against their will. They didn't have a choice. They were drafted. And unless people want another one of those, then, someone's got to keep doing it. So if you want to take the piss out of the government, that's one thing.
Right.
Because I don't always agree where they put the guys, but,
right.
You're getting put there. You got to feel at least for that. They're answering the call.
Exactly right. That's how selfish. I mean, and they really were. Thank you for the call, Adam. That was well put. Adam from the Boston area. That's the fucking thing. I mean, can you imagine being that? They really were the greatest generation ever, the World War II generation. Look at the shit we've turned out since, including my generation. There's a saying in the Japanese culture that the parents plant the tree and the kids enjoy the shade. Something like that. I have it tattooed on my left ass cheek. Did it myself at a party in college. Here we go. This is right up the Twinks alley. Let's change the subject. 833-599-6425. Millennial men ditching traditional masculine values are more likely to embrace emotional strength.
Your son looks like a fag to me. You better get married again, because he's going to wind up with somebody's cock in his mouth.
Oh, no need of that. A new study finds that male millennials are drifting away from stereotypical masculine values. I wonder if it has anything to do with them being browbeaten by every move they make by fucking bearded feminists and little bloggers who start fucking ugly lies and toxic masculinity and all. The research led by the University of British Columbia showed that younger men tend to value selflessness, social engagement, and health over traditional male ideals like physical strength and autonomy. Social engagement? What, they'd rather go to a fucking freshman mixer than pick up a gun? Yeah. Of course, physique and independence were still important because you couldn't get laid without that. Prominent value. Physique and independence was still prominent values for the 630 Canadian men aged 15 to 29 who took part in the survey, just not as important to participants as selflessness. In fact, selflessness, how is that possible? Some millennials are some of the most entitled, spoiled little brats I've ever met. And I still like them. I still think they get a bad rap. In fact, selflessness was by far the top-rated male value. 9 in 10 respondents said that men should help others in and out of their underwear and bra. What? That's my generation. 88% of the respondents agreed that men should be open to new ideas, new people, new experiences, and new legs and new ass cheeks. 8 in 10 felt it imperative that a man gives back to his community. Anybody who uses the word community is not a fucking man in the first place. Leave the word community for Black Lives Matter, Al Sharpton, the fucking feminist movement, and anybody else who's very PC. Maintaining tip-top health was also important to the vast majority of men, but that didn't mean having chiseled abs and 24-inch biceps or pythons, as Hulk Hogan would often say. Of course not. You know why? That would be hard to achieve. That would take discipline and work. You'd rather be selfless and stand next to that red kettle in front of the fucking supermarket on Christmas Eve and that type of shit. Or be on Facebook and taking pictures of yourself. Look, I'm running a 10K for tit cancer. I'm a good person. Can't you do it? Why does it have to be mutually exclusive? Can't you help out people? And I'm a selfish prick, by the way. This is all. But I'm saying, can't you help out and be ripped and keep yourself in shape? And be a bit of a pig and make girls feel uncomfortable at the cafeteria? Can't you do all that at once? Why is it going to be one or the other? Try being a ripped guy who's selfless. Then you're going to get a lot of... 3/4 of the participants did feel that physical strength was important, but that finding was still notably less than the 87% who agreed a man should embody intellectual strength, or the 83% who viewed emotional strength as highly important. What did they interview, the cast of Rent? Similarly, only 78% of the men listed autonomy as defining male characteristic. The researchers believe millennial men are widening their value structure and questioning what it truly means to be masculine. That's because the modern-day feminists have them so confused. They don't know whether to shit or wind their life partner's watch.
You are correct, sir.
That's enough of that one. But here's a story, and I'll end with this tonight. It really made me hungry. No. Jason knows what's coming. He had like a hurt look on his face. But it sort of refutes what I just read about the millennials. Seriously, guys? It's made my mouth water. You don't like big boys, too? All right. Teenagers in Indonesia, they're not doing this in the Bronx, are collecting menstrual pads and tampons, often of the used variety, and boiling them, allowing the mixture to cool, and then imbibing, that means drinking, the resulting liquid. Delicious, right? Dinero, delicious? Come on, Jace, that would have been hilarious. If you find
I'm sorry, I was just so distraught by the topic.
Yeah, no excuses. You're making me look like an asshole already. Anyways, police have already arrested several minors caught making this menstrual pad moonshine.
Delicious.
Thank you.
It's great. No clip, but audio. One 14-year-old confessed that he and his buds swig it in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Where are you getting all this stuff? You going through a dumpster behind Planned Parenthood? Where are you getting all the fucking used ponies, as we call them? The National Narcotics Agency in Indonesia says it's the chlorine used to sanitize menstrual products that's getting kids tipsy, giving them hallucinations and a feeling of flying. Now, wait a minute. Are you going to tell me it's the chlorine in the tampons themselves? So my wife puts in a fucking tampon of your girlfriend. I've never heard him go, I feel like I'm flying. Usually, it's the guy going, I feel like I'm dying. She just yelled at me for no reason. The chlorine makes you feel like you're flying from a tampon? Is that why it's like a kite string? There goes Diane. She's a Chinese kite. I said kite. I gotta read that again. I'm gonna go upstairs and suck on some new ones. Says it's the chlorine used to sanitize menstrual products that's getting kids tipsy, giving them hallucinations and feeling. It can't be good to put that inside you, ladies. I've heard of toxic shock and all that shit, but I never heard the flying nun say, thank God that these double. As it turns out, this has been going on for at least a couple of years. As this phenomenon was first reported by Indonesian authorities back in 2006. If I ever go to Indonesia, I am not ordering a Bloody Mary on the flight. Now listen, can I get that with 2 olives? Please? Then I'll floss with a string. Good night, everybody. Yeah, they've been doing this since 2016. I'm not on the cutting edge. I don't know who started it. Jimmy Ginting, an advocate for safe drinking. Hey, Jimmy, you're not doing your job. If you're an advocate for safe drinking, you are losing the battle. These kids are boiling used tampons and getting high. I wonder how long before Budweiser grabs onto this and runs with it. There is no law against it so far. There's no law against these kids using a mixture of mosquito repellent and cold syrup to get drunk either. So I'm moving to Indonesia.
How do they figure that out?
Well, I'll tell you, Ryan. You're not going to know anything about this, but you go down on a girl, at the wrong time or the right time, depending, again. And there's nothing like it. You feel like you're floating after. No, I know. I don't know who tried it first, but you can ask that of a lot of shit. Who tried the oyster first? Who dug that out of the mud and said, let me suck that? Or a fucking squid? Or milk from a cow? What sick fucking... You know? Imagine me the first scene. Oh, yeah, let's fucking try that. Or a lobster or... But I'm going to try it, although... I don't know. Mix it with my Gatorade. Anyways, we used to call it Big Boy Stew in high school. My buddy Mike called it that. When he went down on his girlfriend at that time, he would call it Big Boy Stew. He came up with that in high school. That is some funny shit. Would you like some bread for mopping? All right, Nick, move on. Anyways, finally tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're a college football fan. They have the new playoff system they implemented 3 years ago, whatever the fuck. And there's a 13-man committee, and there's formulas involved to decide who. They actually have a playoff, who the 4 teams are, which is, it's fucking 103 teams in Division I, and you end up with 4 at the end. But Alabama played Georgia for the SEC title. And second year in a row, they're beating Alabama late, and they'd lose. They were ahead twice against Alabama. Would give the Patriots a good game. Georgia was up twice by 14 points and ended up losing. I had to go on stage. I watched some of it in between shows, and I figured, fucking Georgia's going to do it this year. I come back, and first headline I see is Alabama storms back to beat them. Then you get Clemson, who everybody, agrees is fucking killer. Then Oklahoma, also killer. Or Kyler Murray, is that his name? And then Notre Dame those are the 4 teams. Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Notre Dame. And the controversial pick is Notre Dame, but they are 12-0. They are undefeated, and I am a Notre Dame fan, and even I believe Georgia should be in that 4th. No disrespect to Brian Kelly. He is a Massachusetts guy. Played against our arch rivals in high school. He's at St. John's Prep. But I looked at Notre Dame's schedule, and come on. I mean, here's a few of their wins. Ball State, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, Pitt, Navy, Florida State, who stinks this year, USC. So, Keith Jackson. Oh, Nelly, I don't think they should be there, ladies and gentlemen. But it really is hard to go 12-0 at that level of football, even with some weaklings thrown in. But Georgia plays in the SEC. Every weekend they got Auburn, they got Tennessee, they got Alabama. I mean, it's brutal. And that nobody will argue the SEC is in the best division in football, in college football. So right now you guys are going, we don't give a shit. We want to talk about making some period tampon juice. But I think Georgia, and they came that close again. But other people say, well, what the fuck? Does Georgia have 2 losses? I don't know. I think they do. Can you pull that up? Yeah, it's not that important. It's late. But I would say, and again, and I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I would say Georgia because they play the toughest schedule. Ryan, any thoughts on the... I look at it. He's fidgeting around like he's 7 years old. He's fucking touching his nose. He's looking around. Maybe it goes together. He's doing this. Pretty sure he might be. Wow, I gotta lay off the cigarettes. Anything? What do you guys? You're on. Don't put yourself on camera and not say anything, Jason. Oh, God, he's got his Redskins hat. I took them in the points tonight. Anyways, all right, that's it, folks. That is it. The Monday shows are the long ones. Thank you all so much. Go to nickdip.com. We're, I don't know, considering maybe a month or 2 down the road, I don't know, trying a completely free week just to see, just as a thank you to some people and, see if it, how it works out. Just as a present. I don't know. I have so many people telling me marketing-wise. That is it. Have I got everything, kids? All right. Remember, you guys think it. I will say it. You're so goddamn welcome. And we'll see you Patreon members. And if you people like this show and you're not Patreon, go to patreon.com/Nick. Go to nickdip.com. What am I saying? And sign up for the show on Patreon. Then you can get 4 shows a week. And let's be honest. Do you really want to miss this? I don't think you do. See you tomorrow.